Hi, folks. Welcome to the first ever episode of This Week in Ferrum Baseball. I'm Gary Holden, your host. I'm the Sports Information Director and Assistant AD here. With me is head baseball coach Ryan Brittle. Ryan, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you doing this. I think our fans give us a good opportunity to tell the fans what's going on with the program and everything. So, well, we're at Friday, February 5th. You guys play tomorrow. I imagine you're on pins and needles right now.
No sleep tonight for anybody in the baseball program. We'll be excited and ready to go tomorrow.
Yeah, I know all the players are all talking about it. They're all excited about kicking off the season and everything. So tell me a little bit what you got. You've got a little bit of an unorthodox situation. You play a game tomorrow at Hampton-Sydney, but then Hampton-Sydney comes here on Sunday for two games. What was the reasoning behind the two venues?
So last year we played a doubleheader at their place and then played one at home.
Okay.
And the reason why we do that is basically so we don't have to spend the night in a hotel. We just travel back and forth on one day and play at the other team's place the next day. So,
and it's almost like a USA South, a conference series where you always play three games, but it's a non-conference game with Hampton-Sydney. We have a rich history with them. They've got an assistant coach there who is the father of one of our former baseball players here, Billy Catron. His son Sam played
That's
here,
right.
so we've got a good history with that program. And so you guys will tell me a little bit about tomorrow. You travel out there. What time do you start your game?
we'll leave at 7:30 in the morning. We'll probably get there around 10:30, 11 o'clock. Game time's at 1. So we'll and when we do have a long tradition with Hampton-Sydney. I've known Coach Jeff Kinney for a long time, and always want to play his teams. They always play hard. They're always ready to play, and they'll give us a good test tomorrow. Last year they shut us down on the first day. I think we got 7 hits on Saturday and 2 in a doubleheader, and got beat both games. But our guys, I was just down in the batting cage, and Lane Deaver was down there, and I was asking him if he was ready, and he said, "Yeah, I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm ready to go." And I said, "Well, is it going to be any different this year than last year?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "I think our team's more ready to play this year than last." So we'll see. We're excited about our team and excited to get on the field and play, and I know Hampton-Sydney is too.
So last year when you had the doubleheader out there, you guys lost 0-2 and 4-2, very tight games and everything, but then you came back here, played the single game, picked up a 14-9 win, kind of your first win of the year. You guys had a decent season, 20-15 overall, so it was kind of the beginning there.
Yeah, it's a great blessing having a legendary coach as your athletic director. Former Ferrum Baseball coach Abe Nass, athletic director, and so when you go into your end of the year meeting and you think you've done okay, which that's all I thought we did was okay last year. I thought we underachieved a little bit, but he quickly reminds you that 20-15 is not good enough for Ferrum Baseball, and all of us in this office and in this program, we know that.
Yep.
But it's always a good reminder and always a kick in the pants to get going and take this program to where it should be, where Coach Naff had it for so long.
Blessing and a curse, probably a little bit too, right?
I'm not going to say that, Gary. You can.
I said it. It's okay. Hey, let's talk a little bit about your schedule. You got a fairly decent schedule. It's like you got 40 games. Some great non-conference teams. You got some newcomers, or at least a team I saw in Urbana out of Ohio. How did that game work out that we picked that up? Is it a spring break game for them?
They actually lost a series and contacted us about coming down and playing. We had an open weekend. We were trying to fill. Urbana's a Division II baseball team out of Ohio, so they'll be coming down with scholarship players. And it'll be exciting to get out on the field against them and compete. Although we're looking forward to every single game we have. One that's certainly circled on the schedule is Emory University. And if I'm not mistaken, I could be, but if I'm not mistaken, I think the last time we played Emory University was right here on Panther Field in the 2007 regionals. I could be wrong. We might have played them since then, but I know we played them then, and I know it wasn't very good. That was Coach
Lost
Nass.
in 14 innings in the finals of the South Regional, and it was for a chance to go to the World Series. And Emory beat us in the 14th, either 14 or 13 innings, and then Emory went through the national championship tournament, got to the finals, and lost in the if necessary game in like 12 or 13 innings. So we were that close with a team that almost won the national championship. So yeah, you're right. And a great program. If I'm not mistaken, it's still Mike Twardarski is the head baseball
That's
coach there. Got a great facility. They have a lot of resources at Emory University, no doubt about it. And
they've been to the World Series 2 years in a row now.
really,
They have they're ranked, I believe, either third or sixth in the preseason poll, maybe both in two different polls. So they're ranked in the top 10 in the country. It'll be a great test. We feel like we want to compete at a high level, and in order to do that, we have to compete against in our regular season schedule against people that are really good. And outside of our conference, Emory's probably one that you would look at to see. Okay, we're going to a hostile environment on the road, and see if we can go in there and win a baseball game or two.
So you're heading down to Atlanta. That's the weekend of the 19th through the 21st of February. Early in the year, probably a little bit cold out there. Talk a little bit about what you're hoping for that whole experience with the players.
Well, I know it'll be, I'm assuming on Friday, we'll be throwing Jake Perkins most likely. And they have a kid named Jackson Weig, who's a left-hander who was 12-1 during the regular season last year as a preseason All-American.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to that experience competing against him. But it's a great opportunity to take our guys to a big city, a different environment than what we have here, and to compete against a top 10 team in the country and to really see where we stand, to see what we need to work on. And
you got 3 bites at the apple, basically.
We do.
Playing them 3 games and everything. So, and Perkins is not someone to slouch off there. You're talking about the player of the year, pitcher of the year 2 years ago in the conference, and there's a lot of great pitchers that come out of the USA South. So to win pitcher of the year is fairly impressive. That was a
He did. He won.
Year.
He was 8-1 his sophomore year. Won pitcher of the year. I believe his ERA was just under 2. Had a good year again last year. 5-1. Didn't win quite as many games, but still ERA in the mid 2s, and he's a very solid pitcher. He's been fantastic for us this past fall and early this spring. He was named team captain, one of 3 team captains on the team, and he's in good shape, and his arm's in good shape, and he's ready to go. And I think he's excited about his senior year.
You got some other good pitchers as well. Dylan Weaver is back. He was the rookie pitcher of the year 2 years ago. Had another good season last year. I see we got quite a few guys back. Perkins was 5-1 last year. You got Dylan Weaver back, Gray Harris, Jared Talley. A lot of guys that threw a number of innings for you.
Yeah, we feel pretty confident about the guys that we're going to run out there on the mound. And we have, one guy that doesn't get a whole lot of attention is Jared Talley, and he's going to be our closer this year. At 7 saves last year, and Jared's just a really reliable, solid guy. Has a really good fastball and throws a lot of strikes. And Dylan Weaver's back for his junior campaign, which will actually be his last. He's going to graduate after 3 years here at Ferrum, which is a great accomplishment.
Wow, that is great.
And he is completely healthy now, and a lot of people probably didn't know he wasn't completely healthy last year. He actually had a football-sized tumor taken out of his leg in August before he came back to school last year.
Wow.
So, but he's completely healthy and 100%, as strong as he's ever been. He's throwing well and ready to go. So we look forward to, those guys they're primed and ready to go. They've been throwing bullpens. We've had inter-squad games, and they're about as ready as they can be at this time of year. And look forward to getting out there and competing.
Let's talk about the other side of the plate, your hitters. Ty Comer's back, Clay Massey, Nathan Reynolds, Lane Deaver. You got some good hitters coming back this year. Anybody standing out to mind so far to you that really looks like they're going to come in and have a great season?
Well, of course, we think Clay and Lane and Ty Comer are going to be kind of the heart and soul of our lineup. They're guys that are proven. They've been proven over the last 2 or 3 years. Lane and Ty, I believe, if they didn't lead us in RBIs, they were in the top 3 in RBIs last year, so they come back, and they're just really solid hitters. They have a great idea of what we're trying to do offensively. Nate Reynolds, who we call Big Rig, is a big left-handed hitter who has a sweet stroke and had a really good year last year. He's certainly going to be a major contributor this year for us. at the plate.
Batted 305, 20 RBIs for you last year, and Comer batted 338 with 29 RBIs for you. So a couple of good hitters.
Yeah. So we've added on the mound and at the plate. We've added some guys in the recruiting class that we feel like are gonna make some contributions.
Okay. We won't ask you who those are right now. We'll leave those. We'll keep those in your back pocket for right now. Conference play starts up. I think you play Methodist right as we're getting close to spring break and everything. Talk a little bit about what you're doing with them.
Well, we're very fortunate to have a tough beginning schedule. I think we play Emory University, we play Urbana, we play Stevenson and Southern Virginia, and of course we open up at Hampton-Sydney. But you know the rubber meets the road when you start your conference play, and
Sure.
we're going to start off with the toughest team in our conference.
Pick to win the championship. We'll talk about the poll in a minute, but
Sure,
that's the
they're
team
picked to
everybody
win and ranked top 20 in the country right now. Of course, Coach Austin's probably the best coach in our conference.
He's pretty much the dean of baseball in this
He-
conference right now.
He certainly is. He's been there for a long time, and a picture of consistency and winning baseball games. So we're lucky enough to get him at our place this year, and look forward
Three-game series.
3-game series. Look forward to. We always look forward to playing Methodist, and they always look forward to playing us.
Well, it's at the opening. Actually, no, it's at the end of spring break, the back end of spring break. So we will probably not have as many students here, but you get a great fan base out of Rocky Mount, Roanoke, parents. The stadium here, we're sitting inside the press box, and the stadium holds about 400 people, and probably half of that is going to be parents and fans that are just from the local area and everything. Get a lot of good people coming out.
Absolutely, our fan base is fantastic. They love baseball. They love Ferrum Baseball. They love Franklin County baseball, and the kids come out and support us. It's great.
Well, I know that one group of students that come out there, they call themselves the Groundhogs and everything. We are sitting in the press box. We're right behind home plate. To the right, at the top of right field, there's a big tall hill, and all the students go up there and hang out and everything, and razz the right fielder usually.
We love the Groundhogs.
Yeah. So it'll be great to have them back out there this year.
Absolutely.
So, all right, let's talk a little bit about the preseason poll in the USA South. Methodist picked to win it all. They had 7 of 11 first-place votes, so the majority of the conference feels as though, and they can't vote for themselves, so basically 7 out of 10 other coaches felt like they were the top team to beat and everything. And then you've got Huntington. They picked up 3 first-place votes right there, and then Piedmont picked up 1. Couple teams from the South, Huntington out of Alabama. They get beautiful weather all year. Is that an advantage for them?
It will be. It will be at the beginning of the year. Once your team gets outside on a consistent basis every day and starts to play regular ball games every week, it really kind of equals itself out. But certainly early on, they can get more reps outside than we can typically. And but that's just an excuse if you lose a ball game.
Sure.
We don't like those.
Imagine it must be difficult for a school like a Huntington or Piedmont, LaGrange down there in the South, playing early in the year, and all of a sudden they come up to a Ferrum or an Averett, and it's got snow flurries and everything. That's got to be a little bit of a challenge
That's
for them.
a great home field advantage.
There you go. Home weather advantage too,
That's
right? All right. After that, you got Maryville, another team from the southern part of the conference and everything, picked to finish 4th, 78 points. Ferrum was picked to finish 5th. Did you feel as though we were picked kind of about right where you felt like we should be?
Sure. We were picked probably pretty close to where we finished last year, and that's essentially how the conference fell as far as the preseason votings. And the beautiful thing about preseason is it doesn't mean a darn thing.
Yep, and usually that preseason poll is done with after the first weekend of conference.
Nobody remembers it
yeah.
after that starts.
Yeah. All right, so Averett is right behind you in 6th place. Then it's LaGrange, Covenant in 8th, NC Wesleyan in 9th, Greensboro in 10th, and William Peace in 11th. William Peace is the youngest program in our conference, right? They're out of Raleigh-Durham. It used to be Peace College when it was an all-women's school. Then it went to William Peace University now that it's a co-ed school and everything. So
one of the beautiful things about our conference is we have great coaches, and it's really good. Last year, the top 16 teams in our conference all won 20 or more games.
wow.
And it's always very competitive, and it will be this year. And every year is an exciting for everybody because nobody knows who everybody else brought in
Sure.
in their recruiting classes. So it's good to get out there and compete and see. And there's always going to be really good teams. Any of those teams can jump up and win it. We were picked to finish last 2 years ago and ended up co-champs, and so
yeah, that was great. That was your rookie season as a head coach
you
and
know,
everything.
The honeymoon's over.
Put the pressure on yourself, right? Coach, let's talk a little bit about your staff this year. You've still got Luke Kent. He came on last year as a first-year assistant coach. You've got Jonathan Wills, Chad Fouts helping you out and everything. Pretty good group of guys and some great baseball coaches. Are you excited about what they bring to the program?
Yeah, I was telling you the other day when you were in the office that I pick coaches by they don't have any opportunities to go anywhere else, so they have to stay here for a long time. But
there we go.
I'm just kidding. Unbelievable wealth of experience on our staff. We have Division I experience. We have lots of recruiting experience. We have some local guys on our staff, including myself and Coach Wills and Coach Fouts. And our staff, our assistant coaches, do a great job of preparing our guys to play. They do a great job of recruiting, and they do a great job of managing this program, and certainly wouldn't be able to do any of the things that we've done without those guys.
Well, you've definitely got a storied program. You're keeping the tradition going and everything. You know, when Abe was here, ran the program, went to the baseball playoffs 10 times and everything. And I know that we're going to end up getting back in there pretty soon, hopefully this year. And we're just so excited about seeing what's in store for Ferrum Baseball this season.
We're excited.
Yeah. Well, Coach, thanks so much for doing this. Now, our goal during the season is to try to do a This Week in Ferrum Baseball once a week during the season, maybe once a month in the off season.
That sounds great.
Okay. Great. Well, Coach, thanks so much for being here. Folks, that's a wrap on our first segment of This Week in Ferrum Baseball. And we will see you next week when we get ready to talk a little bit about what happened with the Hampton-Sydney series and talk a little bit about the upcoming series doubleheader with Southern Virginia. Coach, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Gary.
Coach, folks, thanks for being here, and have a great weekend.